Some people dread leftover turkey. I don't. I take the carcass and turn it into stock. Okay, in order to save this turkey stock that is nice and rich and cooked up that turkey carcass all night with all my ends of vegetables like you've seen, just like I do with the chicken stock, except I did it with the turkey. So now we need to pressure can it. I'm going to do quarts in my small pressure canner because it should be, 7 quarts should be plenty for what's in there, and what's not we'll use to make some other recipes with. But before we can get started on the canning, there's something we need to do maintenance-wise for the canner. I've had this canner for a number of years, and I've never switched out the seal to this point because I don't use it exclusively because I have another canner. But I did loan it to somebody that used it quite a bit, and if you'll look, my ring doesn't completely go around like it should. Now it's pretty loose, and it shouldn't be like that. But that's okay, because any good homesteader is going to have spare parts for anything that they have. And your canner is no different. That's one thing I love about my All-American. It doesn't require a sealing ring and the overpressure plug and stuff like that. So love that thing. But we have extras. I ordered them off of Amazon. They're not expensive, so I ordered 2 extras of each, and I have 2 extras of the can lifters on the bottom that go on the bottom. So we're going to replace it, and to do that, I'll show you, because this is going to be kind of twisted up. So we're going to have to get it hot and kind of warm it up and switch it around and get that seal out. Okay? Okay. So this is the new sealing ring, washed in warm soapy water. And so, because when it comes out, you've seen it was all like twisted and stuff. So this will help it, and you'll see there's still a little twist in there, but that's okay. We're going to put a little bit of oil on this outside of the ring, and then on the outside of my canner, since it is new, to make it a little easier to open and close. And every single time you replace your sealing ring, you're going to replace your overpressure plug. And they come as a set usually. When I order them, they always come as a set from Presto. And you just, all you have to do is put in the model of your canner, and it'll give you the part number, and you can order them. There's several of them available, but I found the cheapest was available for, was again on Amazon. Now to put this overpressure plug in, I'm just going to squeeze it in, pop it through. And it actually says top on the part that is the top. So, and this one had gotten really hard over time. This is the old one. So it was definitely time to replace that. And you should always check those every time you can, of course. All right, so now we've done the maintenance. I'm going to put a little oil on it, and we're going to get the canner up and ready to do some stock. Okay, so I put the oil on. I just put a little bit of oil on my hand, and then I just take my finger, rub it into that little bit of oil, and just take it around, because you want it really light. You don't want to put too much on. And now I still have some excess oil on my hand. I'm going to do the same thing right around here, because again, you don't want a lot, and you don't want it all oily and getting all gummy on you. You just want enough to help it slide a little bit. There we go. Okay, and you know, making sure your equipment is in good working order is very important when you mess with canners. All right. Now we're ready. I'm going to put a little water in here and get my jars going. Okay, and I went ahead and I tested before I get everything going to make sure that it will seal, and it does. And it's definitely got more grip to it than it did before. So you know it's time to replace that seal when it gets so easy that you don't even have to put an effort into closing your canner. One of the easiest things that you can is stock of almost any type, really, because it's just so easy to make. Since you make stock with basically your leftover meat and bones and vegetables, and then all it has to do is cook, you don't really do anything with it. You just let all those flavors come together and come out of there, and then you just put it into jars and can it. And you know, it's only 20 minutes for pints and 25 minutes for quarts, so you can't really get much easier than that. And then you have quick, easy, homemade. You didn't waste, because we hate wasting. So my jars have been in there. They're boiled. I went ahead and I boiled them for 20 minutes. So we're about ready to get canning here. Okay, my jars are hot like I said, so now I'm going to microwave this water to just below boiling. I just want it hot, so I'm going to do it for like 2 minutes in my microwave, and then I'm going to drop in my lids. All right. Okay, and you want to make sure you have everything prepared in advance. Have it ready before you actually start the canning process, so you don't have to stop and go and get this and go and get that. So we have our jar lifter, we have our lid lifter, we have our rings, and like I said, then we have our lids that we will put in and let them get hot for a few minutes. Or we want to soften the seals is what we're going to do. Okay? And then we'll get busy, busy, busy. And speaking of making sure that you have everything, I like to use a cloth, a clean cloth, and all I use it for is for like my canning stuff. It's not an actual dish rag or anything, but it is a actual dish rag that I don't use for dishes. But I use white vinegar, and I like to put it on there, and that's what I use to clean my rims with. That ensures me that I've got a good clean rim, and if it would get a little oil or fat on it, then you're still okay. Okay, so I just kind of do the corner, and then I wipe each of the rims with that. All right. Okay, so now we have everything ready, finally. And we've got our first hot jar out of the canner. We're going to ladle our stock in there. And you did not see me just leave. And we're going to leave 1 inch of headspace. So, like I said, there's nothing mysterious about this. This is probably one of the easiest processes that you could do. Just make sure you have hot sanitized jars. And hot stock. Okay? Okay, so there you go. Now we're just going to wipe that rim. And since it's just liquid, we don't have to worry about getting air bubbles out. Now we're going to take one of our hot lids. And I'm going to put that on there. And remember, jars are hot. So there we go. Fingertip tight as you've seen. I'm going to drop this in the canner and do this another 6 times. Okay, there we go. We have a canner full, and I decided to put 1 less jar in. I took 1 back out because I'm going to use this either tonight. I don't know if I'm going to make turkey pot pie with a bit of a twist, kind of cross between pot pie and shepherd's pie. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to make Cheater's turkey and dumplings using the little potato gnocchi. So we'll see. But anyway, we're going to do some more videos after we finish canning to show different ways that you can use up all of that turkey and waste nothing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to let the steam build up in there, and then I'm going to let until the steam shoots out for 10 minutes, okay? Once that steam vents for 10 minutes, then I'll go ahead and I'll put my pressure rocker on there, and I'm going to can them for 25 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. Now, that's at our altitude here. So if you're in a higher altitude, you need to check the canning book in the ball canning book or online and see what it is that you need for your area. All right, it's been venting for 10 minutes, so I'm going to drop on the weight and let it get going. And once the rocker starts gently rocking, and not until then, it has to be gently rocking at a steady pace, then I will start the timer for 25 minutes. There we go. Gently rocking, so we'll start the timer for 25 minutes. And you'll get to know your stove on, where you need to set it in order to get that to where your rocker doesn't rock too hard or too soft, because it needs to rock, but you don't want it swinging back and forth. So just your temperature. I know mine is roughly at the 6. Sometimes I have to turn it down to between 5 and 6. It just really depends. Okay, the timer went off. We turned off the stove, and now we're just going to let it sit and depressurize. And when it's full, then we'll just go ahead and open it up and see what we have. And there we go. We have 6 quarts, and now I'll just take off each of the rings, and I'll make sure that they're clean and each lid is good sealed. Okay, and that's it. How easy is that?